Trump spoke at the World Economic Forum, and he had some conversations and some things that he wanted to convey. And this is what he said. Let's get to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Well, thank you very much, Klaus, and hello to everyone in beautiful Davos. This has been a truly historic week in the United States. 3 days ago, I took the oath of office, and we began the golden age of America. The recent presidential election was won by millions of votes, and all seven, every one of them, all seven swing states. It was a massive mandate from the American people like hasn't been seen in many years, and some of the political pundits, even some of my so-called enemies, said it was the most consequential election victory in 129 years. That's quite nice.
The one thing about my president, and let me tell you why I like Trump. One of the reasons that I like Trump is not just on what he delivers on, because he say what he gonna mean, and he mean what he's saying, and he do what he said that he was gonna do when he get there, is because Trump don't miss no opportunity to self-promote. Trump be like, listen, they said that I wasn't going to be here today, but I'm right here because my opponents tried to stop me, but I got here anyway because the American people said that I was supposed to be here to save America. Trump don't miss no opportunity, and I don't blame him because I do the same thing. Real recognized real. Trump gonna open up the World Economic Forum by letting you know that he got there on his own too, by making sure that he beat all of his opponents in the head and won every single swing state. Trump is not messing around with y'all. He not gonna miss no opportunity to let you know how great he was and how he should be on the Mount Rushmore by himself as the greatest president of all time. That's my president. I like that. That's masculinity. We need more of that. We don't need none of that fakeness. Oh, you guys are the greatest. No, we need people to let you know how they got there when they got there and how they came in the presidential motorcade.
What the world has witnessed in the past 72 hours is nothing less than a revolution of common sense. Our country will soon be stronger, wealthier, and more united than ever before, and the entire planet will be more peaceful and prosperous as a result of this incredible momentum and what we're doing and going to do. My administration is acting with unprecedented speed to fix the disasters we've inherited from a totally inept group of people and to solve every single crisis facing our country. This begins with confronting the economic chaos caused by the failed policies of the last administration. Over the past 4 years, our government racked up $8 trillion in wasteful deficit spending and inflicted nation-wrecking energy restrictions, crippling regulations, and hidden taxes like never before. The result is the worst inflation crisis in modern history and sky-high interest rates for our citizens and even throughout the world.
Somebody says, somebody wants my attention. Y'all know the chat is my co-host for the show. The attention seeker, Timothy Jameson, says, Anton Daniels, America is satanic with or without Trump. Like this one right here. I want you to big up Trump as hard as you can. Go extra hard. Let me ask y'all a question. If y'all feel like this country is so demonic and satanic, why are y'all here? Why do y'all take money from y'all white man boss that y'all don't like? Why do you beg these satanic and America is so evil people for food stamps and Section 8 and housing to clothe you and your ugly children? That's all I'm saying. I would just wish for everybody that hate America to get the heck out of America. Respectfully. If you don't like this country, leave. Why would you want to hang out at, I was saying that about people that always complain about their job. Like, why are you there if you don't like it? If you hate it so much, why did you apply to work there? Why everybody trying to move here if it's so demonic? Every single country got its history and its ugliness. Your family got people inside of there still touching on little girls. You ain't called the police on them yet. Yo, listen, some of y'all are the ones that are the demons because America is just a reflection of its people. So if you don't like the country, then that means that you don't like yourself. We can disagree with the stuff that happens inside of the country, but at the same time, why don't y'all just leave? Leave, run, jump on the same plane as the migrants. Anybody that want to permanently leave the United States of America, let me know. I'll help fund it. We need to have a GoFundMe for all of these people that are draining the resources from the United States of America and taking away from taxpayers, not adding into the system, while at the same time complaining about what the country ain't doing for them. I just want y'all to leave. I just want y'all to get the hell up out of here. Just leave. Just walk away. The same way that you left your kids when your girlfriend told you that she was pregnant, leave America. Use that same method. The same way that your kids don't know you, America don't need to know you either. Get your passports. Go over and make another country demonic and hateful. All of these people that hate America so much, leave like you leave your children. Leave like you left your girlfriend when she told you that she was pregnant. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead and do your thing, big dog.
Food prices and the price of almost every other thing known to mankind went through the roof. President Biden totally lost control of what was going on in our country, but in particular with our high inflation economy and at our border. Because of these ruinous policies, total government spending this year is $1.5 trillion higher than was projected to occur when I left office just 4 years ago. Likewise, the cost of servicing the debt is more than 230% higher than was projected in 2020. The inflation rate we are inheriting remains 50% higher than the historic target. It was the highest inflation probably in the history of our country. That's why from the moment I took office, I've taken rapid action to reverse each and every one of these radical left policies that created this calamity, in particular with immigration, crime, and inflation. On day one, I signed an executive order directing every member of my cabinet to marshal all powers at their disposal to defeat inflation and reduce the cost of daily life. I imposed a federal hiring freeze, a federal regulation freeze, a foreign aid freeze, and I created the new Department of Government Efficiency.
And I 100% agree. We don't have no money for nobody else right now. The Bible says you got to get the beam out of your own eye. You need to fix your own backyard. And I say it all the time here on the Millionaire Morning Show. You can't help nobody until you help yourself. We ain't got nothing else to get. We are in debt. We are trillions, not billions, not millions, not thousands, not pennies. We are trillions of dollars in debt. We don't have no more money to give to nobody. We done. You're going to have to help yourself. I can't give nothing to you until I fix my own situation. My own house. I'm losing my own house. I can't help you save yours. I can't help you save yours. We got to fix them. America is closed for repairs. For the next 4 years, America is closed for not only are we closed for repairs, we want all of our money back from everybody that keep on taking from us. We're not giving no more money to NATO. We're not giving no more money to the World Health Organization. We don't care if all of y'all get measles. But the world is breaking up. It looks like they got to do some work on their own soil to fix the measles. But everybody in South Africa, the AIDS rates and the HIV rates is going up. Look like they got to do some work on strapping it up. They got the internet, right? They gonna have to fix their own. We ain't got no more money for nobody else. I got to pay my own bills. I got to take care of myself. The stronger I am for me, the stronger I am for you. That's what I say.
I terminated the ridiculous and incredibly wasteful Green New Deal. I call it the Green New Scam. Withdrew from the one-sided Paris Climate Accord and ended the insane and costly electric vehicle mandate. We're going to let people buy the car they want to buy. I declared a national energy emergency, and it's so important, national energy emergency to unlock the liquid gold under our feet and pave the way for rapid approvals of new energy infrastructure. The United States has the largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we're going to use it. Not only will this reduce the cost of virtually all goods and services, it'll make the United States a manufacturing superpower and the world capital of artificial intelligence, and crypto. My administration has also begun the largest deregulation campaign in history, far exceeding even the record-setting efforts of my last term.
I'm with it.
In total, the Biden administration imposed $50,000 in additional regulatory costs on the average American household over the last 4 years. I have promised to eliminate 10 old regulations for every new regulation, which will...
You ain't lying. Regulations, you get regulated out to death. You can't do nothing. You can't start nothing. Have y'all ever tried to open up a business, like a real business, not one that you're just doing from your house, but like a brick and mortar? Have you ever tried to build something like build a restaurant or whatever, and then you still... Let me tell you what happens. You build something, you doing it the right way, you trying to pull permits, they got all of the red tape, you can't get nothing done, gotta wait for inspectors. Meanwhile, somebody will be selling plates on the side of the road with a sign, and the police just drive right by him. You trying to actually do it the right way. You working with the city, they got all of this red tape, they making you pay tens of thousands of dollars in fees, and somebody is on Instagram advertising plates. Actually, Facebook, because they do that the old school way. Hey, y'all, I got plates for sale. Meatloaf, macaroni and cheese, green beans, and I'll deliver it to your job. They make it inside of their house with all of the cat hair and the dogs barking over the food. You trying to do it right and do it legally, but all of the red tape is preventing you from getting things done. That is literally what's been happening in America. And for every new regulation, we need to get rid of 10 of them because we just got too much regulation. It's overly regulated.
Soon put many thousands of dollars back in the pockets of American families. To further unleash our economy, our majorities in the House and Senate, which we also took along with the presidency,
y'all know I'm telling the
are going
truth.
to pass the largest tax cut in American history, including massive tax cuts for workers and family, and big tax cuts for domestic producers and manufacturers. And we're working with the Democrats on getting an extension of the original Trump tax cuts, as you probably know, by just reading any paper. My message to every business in the world is very simple. Come make your product in America, and we will give you among the lowest taxes of any nation on earth.
And that is how you get real manufacturing inside of the United States of America. You have to work with businesses and incentivize. The reason why SoftBank, Oracle, Nvidia, all of these places are investing hundreds of billions of dollars immediately on day 2, day 3, day 4 inside of the United States of America is because they can expedite the process, lower the amount in taxes, which then creates American jobs and put money into people's pockets. It lowers the price of doing business, which then lowers inflation and then lowers the cost of money, which is the interest and the inflation and what it is that you paying to borrow a dollar, which then incentivizes more people to spend and for more money to go into American pockets. And that's how you create a spending and thriving economy inside of the United States of America. This is why you need business leaders as well as people that are strong to make decisions inside of the White House, because you cannot and will not tax your way to success inside of the United States of America. We see that in Los Angeles. We see it in New York. We see it in Baltimore. We see it in Chicago.
We're bringing them down very substantially, even from the original Trump tax cuts. But if you don't make your product in America, which is your prerogative, then very simply you will have to pay a tariff, differing amounts, but a tariff which will direct hundreds of billions of dollars and even trillions of dollars into our treasury to strengthen our economy and pay down debt. Under the Trump administration, there will be no better place on earth to create jobs, build factories, or grow a company than right here in the good old USA. Already Americans' economic, you can see this, I think, maybe even in your wonderful, wonderful room that you're all gathered together, so many of my friends, but Americans, the economic confidence is soaring like we haven't seen in many, many decades, maybe not at all. Upon my election, it was just announced that small business optimism skyrocketed by 41 points in a single month. That's the highest ever. There's never...
Anybody that is a business owner, that is opportunistic, that is self-motivated, anybody that got some money put up, anybody that has been stacking, anybody that's a part of of the bag chasers. The Patreon link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Anybody that has been preparing and putting themselves in a position to be successful. What have I been telling y'all over the last 2, 3, 4 years? Pay off your debt, stack your money. It's easier to climb the mountain and to get that bag when you don't have rocks in your backpack, which is the debt. Debt is the enemy of wealth. Put yourself in a position. Hoard that cash. Put it inside of this stock. Put it inside of this and let it grow. But then you still have access to it, which allows for you to be able to make the big purchases soon. Anybody that's been investing, anybody that's been following my advice when it comes to real estate, you are going to be in the best position possible to get rich over the next 4 years. It is going to be the greatest economy of all time. And if you don't get rich, and I mean filthy rich over the next 3.5 to 4 years, you are doing something really, really wrong. You ain't gonna have to compete with no illegal migrants. You ain't gonna have to be able to put no money out. Money is gonna be cheap. If you can't get rich with the information that we give you over the next 3.5 to 4 years, something is really wrong with you. If you're not disciplined enough to stop spending money on things that don't impress nobody, that don't even care about you, so that you can get rich, listen, take some time out. The next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years is dedicated to us. It's us time. It's your time. It's going to be contracts for American workers to be able to fill voids and put out products and get government contracts and be able to create certain businesses and opportunity zones inside of your cities and your states. It is going to be a booming time for people. If you know, you know. If you have the ability to do so, you will. If you're taking advantage of the money and the opportunities, it's only day 5 since Trump took his inauguration oath. It is going to be one of the biggest opportunities of all time. If you can't run up a bag, if you can't get in a position to be able to stack and invest and then run up at least $1 million or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 over the next 3 to 4 years, you are a dusty. You not focused. You so busy focusing on identity politics. You're going to be able to get the biggest bags ever in your lifetime. We are in a golden age and you don't even see it yet. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Never been anything like that. SoftBank has announced between a $100 and $200 billion investment in the U.S. economy because of the election result. And just 2 days ago, Oracle, SoftBank, and OpenAI announced a $500 billion investment in AI infrastructure. Other companies likewise have announced billions and billions and billions, adding up to trillions of investment in America, in the United States. And it's also reported today in the papers that Saudi Arabia will be investing at least $600 billion in America. But I'll be asking the Crown Prince, who's a fantastic guy, to round it out to around $1 trillion. I think they'll do that because we've been very good to them. And I'm also going to ask Saudi Arabia and OPEC to bring down the cost of oil. You got to bring it down, which, frankly, I'm surprised they didn't do before the election. That didn't show a lot of love by them not doing it. I was a little surprised by that.
Everything hoops. Listen, we got the message. We see it. Everybody in the chat seen it 4 times. No spam in the chat, all right? You don't have to copy and paste it 8 times. No spam in the chat.
If the price came down, the Russia-Ukraine war would end immediately. Right now, the price is high enough that that war will continue. You got to bring down the oil price. You got to end that war. They should have done it long ago. They're very responsible.
Somebody, for example, says, real question, Mr. High Off Music says, or the real Mr. High Off Music says, well, the real question is who buying TikTok? No, the real question is what companies that you can invest in that will then benefit from this economy that will allow for you to be able to have equity. What stocks are we buying is the questions that y'all should be asking me. When we do Stock Club this weekend on Patreon, the questions we should be asking each other is, how do we then leverage the information that Anton is sharing with us over this weekend and be able to continue the conversation inside of the Discord so that we can really run it up? Everything that we're going to talk about over this weekend is what we're going to benefit from over the next 6 years. We making long-term investments this year that's going to pay off based off of what happens during this administration now. Forget who buying TikTok. I don't care. If it ain't putting money in my pocket, it don't matter to me. I don't even post on platforms where I don't see no money yet. People so busy running up a following on platforms that they ain't even making no money on. I don't live stream on platforms that ain't paying. What you talking about, Willis? We need to be asking questions that put money in. If it ain't money in your pocket, I don't care. When I get off of these live streams, let's say, for example, I go on After Hours or, the Anton Daniels channel, and we talking about something happening. Oh man, tonight's conversation, everybody is running wild. Do you know that I don't talk about tonight's conversation after I get off the internet? The only time I talk about tonight's conversation is when other people want me to talk about tonight's conversation because they want to hear my commentary, which then generates revenue because they want to hear me talk about popular culture on the internet. When I'm off the internet, I can't make no money off of talking about that. So we talking about where we going to get the money and what we planning for when we off the internet. I don't care about anything that's not generating revenue right now. It don't matter to me. I don't care who busting down who. If it ain't about a bag, leave me out of it.
Actually, to a certain extent, for what's taking place. Millions of lives are being lost. With oil prices going down, I'll demand that interest rates drop immediately, and likewise, they should be dropping all over the world. Interest rates should follow us. All over, the progress that you're seeing is happening because of our historic victory in a recent presidential election, one that has become quite well known throughout the world. I think a lot of things are happening to a lot of countries. They say that there's light shining all over the world since the election, and even countries that we aren't particularly friendly with are happy because they understand what there is a future and how great the future will be. Under our leadership, America is back and open for business. And this week, I'm also taking swift action to stop the invasion at our southern border. They allowed people to come in at levels that nobody's ever seen before. It was ridiculous.
What up, Q?
I decided and declared to do, and very, very importantly, a national emergency on our border, immediately halted all entry of illegal border crossers, of which there were many, and began promptly returning the illegal trespassers back to the place from which they came. That action, as you've probably seen, has already started very strongly. I've deployed active duty U.S. military and National Guard troops to the border to assist in repelling the invasion. It was really an invasion. We will not allow our territory to be violated. After 4 long years, the United States is strong and sovereign and a beautiful nation. Once again, it's a strong, sovereign nation. In addition, I'm pleased to report that America is also a free nation once again. On day one, I signed an executive order to stop all government censorship. No longer will our government label the speech of our own citizens as misinformation or disinformation, which are the favorite words of censors and those who wish to stop the free exchange of ideas and, frankly, progress. We have saved free speech in America, and we've saved it strongly. With another historic executive order this week, I also ended the weaponization of law enforcement against the American people and, frankly, against politicians, and restored the fair, equal, and impartial rule of law. My administration has taken action to abolish all discriminatory diversity, equity, and inclusion nonsense. And these are policies that were absolute nonsense.
Facts.
Throughout the government and the private sector. With the recent yet somewhat unexpected great Supreme Court decision just made, America will once again become a merit-based country.
Facts.
You have to hear that word, merit-based country. And I've made it official, an official policy of the United States, that there are only 2 genders, male and female.
Facts.
And we will have no men participating in women's sports, and transgender operations, which became the rage, will occur very rarely.
If this ain't the greatest time to be inside of the United States of America, I don't know what is.